What's up, guys? We're back at it again with another Nam Studios podcast. Today in the booth, we got Tommy DeMisa. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. What's going on? How you doing? All right?
Nothing much. I haven't seen you since the horse ability golf outing.
Yes, that was last week. That was fun, man. You know, people come up to me and just thank me and go like, dude, that was so great. The jokes are great and all this kind of stuff you're doing at the mic. And I'll tell you, it's like, it's going to sound bad, but not a whole lot of preparation going into some of these things because that's just me. It's just it. It's just real. It's just what happened. And then I start to think about what happened. People go that, oh, you were so funny. I don't even remember what I said some of the times, man. So, because I literally on my drive home, somebody was like, actually, one of the guys I met that night had sent me a note on LinkedIn or something. He's like, you're authentic and your jokes and everything was just so on point. I'm like, what the heck did I say? Like, I'm trying to go back, and like just
because it's just your charisma.
It's in the moment, brother. It's just in the moment, and it's just one of those things like that I got, and I'm good at it. And
have you always been like good on your feet like that?
I think so, yeah. But I never realized it being. I never thought it was like a creative thing. Like I thought it was just like that's it. Like I was a bartender for a long time, man. So it was like one just quick, ready to go.
Yeah.
But in that environment, it was more like maybe some cursing and some inappropriate talk and stuff, but in its when you're MCing like that, especially like last week, so that when I saw you was at that event, that was on a Monday. That Wednesday, I MC'd an event for an organization called TRI, which is it's a triathlon organization for middle school girls, and this was out in East Hampton, and they put a tent together. This place called Longhouse Reserve. And I just, this is going to sound arrogant and obnoxious because maybe it is, but I crushed it, man. I just like, it was in that spot. Like, like.
Did you grow up like being like the class clown?
Not exactly, man, but like I was always kind of like witty and stuff like that. But no, not the class clown. But like I realized a lot of things like, man, as we grow, we think, I used to go around telling everybody, look, man, I'm a salesman. That's what I do, right? I'm a salesman. And then I had this idea for the show, Philanthropy Focus, which is I use, sometimes when I say it the wrong way, but I say it's like my main show. It's not really my main show. It's just the first one, So I've done approaching like 218 episodes of that show. And it's every Friday. So the thing about that, it's consistent.
Live?
So I do it live. Live, we stream. So we record and stream on Zoom. Goes on like 6 different platforms live, Twitch, X, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and talkradio.nyc. And those are the guys that do that stuff with me, talkradio.nyc. And that one's just every Friday. And I had that idea, though, for that show, Theo, for years. And I was talking about it and telling people about it. But like these recordings that play in our head, like I didn't see myself as that creative type. And it kind of hit me. I do a couple shows in the studio, one called Island Changemakers, which is just what it sounds like, which we got to get you on that show because you're certainly changing a lot of stuff here on Long Island.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And the other thing is #ending the stigma together. And what happens with me, it's funny, and those who know me know I say that I got ADHD, and I don't say it as a joke. I got ADHD, like I got a diagnosis. I work with therapists, working on it and stuff like that. More strategy, really, with my therapist, as far as that stuff goes. But
it's funny you say that because I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you listen to any podcast, but, most mornings I listen to a podcast called The Daily.
Okay.
And
I've heard of it, but I
it's like a New York Times podcast where they do stories. And usually
it's like live, like in the moment? Like
no, it's not in the moment, but they usually do it the day before.
Oh, okay. So it's current
events.
Right, yeah.
Current events, news and stuff. And about a week or two ago, they had a episode specifically on ADHD.
Oh, yeah. I gotta check.
And talking about how for so long they thought it was a disease that could be fixed with medicine, like Ritalin, Adderall. Yeah. And it goes to show, like, after 3 years of being on Adderall, it doesn't do anything to you anymore. Like, you go right back. And then they found out it's more behavioral, where kids who had ADHD, like, who did bad in school, like in elementary school, ended up going above and beyond expectations when they got into college or later, because then they actually were able to focus on things they like.
100%.
Like school is not for them. Like that ABCs, 1, 2, 3s was not for them. But when they were able to focus on astronomy, sports, whatever in high school and deep dive into something they're really interested in, they usually like excelled beyond their peers.
Yeah.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. Well, I think what it boils down to, it's a terrible name for something because it doesn't saying attention deficit. It's not like attention deficit because like the things that, to your point, that I am super jazzed about, like I just go all in. I mean, like as I call myself the nonprofit sector connector, right? Like this is my world. These are the people I hang out with. Like it's all in. Like I usually do like this kind of self-deprecating joke just to make a point, but like I suck at a lot of things. I'm good at like 3 or 4 things. And like if you just stay in that zone and you focus on those 3 or 4 things, like you're or 5 or 7 or whatever. But like those of us who have this brain type, it's like you just lock in on certain things and you can't, it becomes obsessive maybe a little bit, like just going on. But there's definitely some challenges, man, because things don't get done like that should get done. Like paying your taxes on time and things like that, like don't actually get done. I'm straight up with like, you know, and it doesn't always do things for like certain relationships in your life because people who you're in partnerships, whether it be marriage or otherwise, are not like, it's just blowing things off is not as cool to them. You know?
When did you like consider yourself the nonprofit sector connector? Like, where did that name come from?
Yeah.
Like, when did you know, like, nonprofit connecting people into spaces is your thing?
Yeah. Yeah. So we own an employee benefits agency. So, you know, I got this jersey, In Focus Productions. You know, this is my production company, but I got another jersey called Vanguard Benefits because we have something going on right now called the Vanguard Benefits Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame Employer Award. So we've been doing that, right? And about 8 years ago when I became a partner in our firm, it was that week between Christmas and New Year's, I'll always remember. And we sat down and we had lunch, the 3 of us, Ed, Vinny, and I, and we were trying to figure out, I was leaving something else, and we were figuring out like how to have a focus on a specific industry. And I'd been coming out of a company that I was working for, and they had just gone through something called verticalization, where they were really focused on having both sales reps and service people focus on specific industries, right? It was all businesses, but they would say you had the professional services, you had the nonprofit sector, you had marketing and advertising agencies, and you had all these different things. So we sat down, the 3 of us that week, and we were talking about where do we want to focus. Vanguard Benefits, we're an employee benefits agency. We focus on helping businesses and nonprofits utilize benefits to attract and retain talent, right? Just to give that little quip there. And we were sitting there and we came up with the nonprofit sector. And maybe this is a bit about the ADHD too. Once I found out about like, that's where we're going, it was like, all right, that's it. So I start joining boards. I start getting very involved. I get involved with a friend, you know, at the time, a colleague, now a very good friend of ours, a guy named Ken Serini. Ken Serini founded the Long Island Imagine Awards and the New York City Imagine Awards, right?
Yeah, I've been in talks with Kelly.
Yeah, she's my buddy. I love Kelly.
Yeah, reach out to her.
She's great. Yeah. So we've been collaborating with them for a number of years, and I joined the committee for the Long Island Imagine Awards, right? Then when the New York City Imagine Awards was going to launch, I joined that committee. And I've been involved for, it's got to be 10 years or something. And I really think like what happened was seeing what Ken Serini created with the Imagine Awards, where it was a place, it is a night to really recognize the sector for the great work they're doing. Somewhere along the line, I was like, dude, I want to do a show. I want to do a show where it had a name, it had a logo, and for 2 years it had 0 episodes. And it was a thing where I was just like, it's called Philanthropy Focus, just so I could spell it here on my shirt with a PH, because, you know, I don't know if we're contemporaries. Maybe I'm a little older than you are, but I grew up as a hip hop guy, and like just we used to say fat back in the day, and PH, you know, PH, right? And you know, Philanthropy in Focus. I thought that was fun, and I like to be a little different, and you know, companies do that, you know, branding and stuff, you know. So that was like, it had a name, it had a logo, which is a drawing of me, and I was just like, you know, I'm going to interview executive directors of nonprofits. So you know what it is, man? There's a lot of people who go, all right, I'm going to bring on, and I've done this too, I'm going to bring on professionals, business owners, people who work with the sector, who serve the sector, which is a great show too. However, I wanted to every single week have a different organization on the show. So I say I help them tell their story and amplify their message. It's funny, I'm at an event yesterday. I've taken on some new clients and some business development stuff. And I was helping a client out yesterday. And a guy who was taking was doing the videography, ironically, we start chatting it up, and I introduced myself, the whole thing. He says, texted me last night. He's like, I have my own nonprofit, Long Island guys. I don't know the whole story yet. We'll get them connected and stuff, right? But he goes, I saw your card. It says, helping nonprofits tell their story and amplify their message. He's like, that's exactly what I need for my nonprofit. So, that's is and will continue to turn into like it'll turn into a consultancy because of who I am. I'm a sales guy.
We should really do something together.
Dude, whatever, man. Let's do a lot of things together.
Because funny you say that you're trying to get their mission and vision out there through Philanthropy Focus. Yeah. I'm doing the same thing through NOM profit.
Okay.
And
tell me about that. What's that mean?
Yeah, I thought I told you about this already, which is kind of surprising because we talked a lot.
Yeah.
But every month, because, so last year, we're a marketing agency. We are a studio. We do a lot of video production, marketing for education, nonprofit, healthcare, but really any B2B business. And so last year we did a lot of pushing and trying to get clients through Google ads, that kind of stuff. Wasn't really working. Maybe it's because we didn't put enough money to it. It really doesn't matter. So we decided to switch our marketing efforts this year into, instead of giving money to like a big organization to run ads for us, we sent out a form and we asked nonprofits or people to refer nonprofits to us who we could give a free video to and little marketing strategy to every month.
We did talk about this because my friend Christine Fitzpatrick somehow.
She's the one she was our first pick.
All right. So first of all, shout out. Love Christine, League of Yes, My Family Foundation, the Lindy Lou Foundation.
I'm actually seeing Rocco tonight.
Are you? What do you guys got going on?
We're going to meet up in Brooklyn just for like a drink.
Oh, no kidding.
If you're not
busy. You know what? Brooklyn's not around the block. But, I like Rocco a lot. I saw him because Christine got inducted into the Suffolk County Sports Hall of Fame. So. Dude, this is like I'm always moving,
we
saw
each other there.
That's right.
So yeah.
So what do you need there? Like what
I don't
kind
know.
of connection?
It's just we just connect. Like we did Christine, we did Pink Cancer.
Yeah. Shout out to Tony D, my guy. Love Tony, by the way.
Yeah.
He saw me the other night. And he's like, so I kept hearing him say Tommy D. He goes, I thought I did something because I'm Tony D. And I was like, listen, man, there's only one Tommy D.
There's only one Tony D.
and he would. I think that's exactly what he would say. It's so funny because the first time I came to visit you, I'm just hanging out in the hallway with him for like a while, and you and I talked for a couple of hours. You couldn't get rid of me that day.
Yeah, we were hanging out, but we did Pink Hands, we did. Winter Center for Autism.
Oh I love Chris Ponzi was a friend of mine. Did you see? She was there that night.
Yeah, she was there, and then we also just finished up a nonprofit based out in Brooklyn called the Manette Foundation.
What's that? What do they do?
They are psychotherapists, two Latino women who opened up a psychotherapist organization.
And it's a nonprofit?
And they also opened up a nonprofit forum, and so they're giving free mental health to the Latinx community.
You got to hook me up. Let's get them on Philanthropy Focus, whatever. Yeah. See, so there's definitely a collab right there where we could figure that out. Now, tell me so I understand and so everybody else understands what like, I forgot who's doing the interview here.
You can interview me. It's all good.
Who's like, what when they partner with you, like what are they getting? They're getting a video,
so they come into the studio for an hour and a half. We interview them. We get those like interview clips.
Yeah.
They send us kind of like videos they've taken over the years if they have any, because that gives us a little more play than like going out and getting my team out to them. So we take those videos, we put together in a video like we do for Christine Fitzpatrick. Ask them what's their story and what's their call to action. Are they looking for volunteers? Are they looking for more donations? Whatever they're looking for.
Have you been watching my show, bro? That sounds like my show.
I have not seen your show.
You've never seen any episodes?
No, I saw you posted the other day.
You know what I started doing? I think I'm going to do this now every Friday. Like after the show, I'm going to go sit on, I have like a swing on our porch. I'm going to sit on the swing and do like a recap. So like this lid I got, see what it says, Special Sweets Bakery. So we're doing an event tonight at the JCC. When are you seeing Rocco? Tonight?
Like 5:30, yeah.
All right, so if you make it back to the island or whatever, I will talk after the show. But long story, my friends Patty and Lisa run this organization, Special Sweets, right here in Garden City at Nassau Bosse's. They have an industrial kitchen, and they have these adults with intellectual developmental disabilities that make cupcakes. I don't know if you're a sweet guy, but
my kids are.
Yeah, dude, forget it. I can't. And they make these mini cupcakes. So it's like basically, doesn't feel so bad if you like 30 of them because of like Tic Tacs, you know. But there was one with an espresso chip on top. Oh, dude, forget it. So they're actually coming through tonight to. That's the video I posted while I was sitting on the park. Not the park bench.
Your bench.
My bench on my front porch there. But that's so we could. How much of that are you looking for? Looking to do one a quarter, one a month?
We try to do one a month. I think we missed
good.
like a month or so. So we're about to be in July, and so far we have 4 under our belt,
so
which is good because I've been learning to give myself grace. Like if you asked me this last year, and I was like I'm going to do one a month, and I only did 4, and we're like 6 months in, 7 months in, I've been like, oh man, I messed up. I should have been better, but like 4 we put this at like it's about a $3,000 value.
And you're looking, so it's like but you're donating it to them,
yeah,
right?
Donated to them. So that's 369. That's $12,000 this year.
I think you got to be jazzed about what you did. That's 4. That's 4 more than 0.
Exactly.
But I know what you're doing because I do it. Because like where you get in your own head and stuff like that. And Grace, I think that's great. So I have a friend talking about Grace. I want you to meet my friend. Her name isn't Grace, but her name is Melissa. And Melissa Ingino. I don't know if you've ever heard. I feel like I might have mentioned when we were sitting down in your office a couple weeks ago. She runs an organization, a company called Grit and Grace Design Studio. And now you guys maybe competitors on the surface, but I just think you'd vibe with each other. And the thing I learned is like, there's so much opportunity in this space, I
don't see anybody who's in like this marketing video production space as a competitor on the island because, like you said, there's so much work to go around, and there's always something that someone else might not do, might do better,
right? Like
where we could fill in. 100%. Like I'm always referring people to other people. People are always referring to me. So like, I'm more of the collaboration, and like if we could all get lifted up, we're all making 100%. Money, man.
100%. And you know what it is too? Like, I think enough people don't know how to do this that they need the professionals to plug in. And, even like the thing I started to talk about with the MC stuff that I'm doing with the nonprofits, like for a long time, that was me just giving that away. And it's become a point where, first of all, I'm really good at it and I shouldn't just be giving it away anymore. And it's not really appropriate, in my opinion, for the market for me just to be doing it. And it's also not great because for me, I end up taking its opportunity cost. It's a full day. If it's 3 hours a night, it's a full day because I'm prepping. I'm on meetings ahead of time, trying to understand who's going to be in the room, all that kind of stuff. So even that, there's not a lot of guys who do that work. And I think what you do and what Melissa does and then what I do on the other side. See, when we did this event for iTry last week, I was the MC. Melissa did all the hot takes, the hot mic stuff, the video. So and then, her deliverables are a bunch of videos that she's given over. And that was a package situation where they got Tommy D, they got Melissa, and that to me is just, that's super fun because that's like, man, I got my people, we're doing our thing, right? I'm in my zone of brilliance, and then the client is just like, jazzed because of the output and everything.
Yeah, but you also have to think about like you said, the opportunity cost because I am the same way. I give stuff away for free, and sometimes it's like, I shouldn't be giving this away for free. But, now I do all the things like, wait, who's going to be there? What kind of event is it? How many connections can I make? Can these connections end up being business, like secondary referral business?
100%.
And that's, and that's what I really do right now. That's the business mind in me. And that's also the business coach who's over here telling me, like, you got to weigh these things. Like,
is that you have one or your own business coach?
I have one. Yeah, I have one. His name is Jeff Stern. I don't know if you know Jeff Stern. Jeff Stern. Jeff Stern. I missed our meeting last month, but
that's what it is. But see, it's important. I'm glad you bring that up because when you talk about coaches and having a coach and stuff like that, and I've had many different coaches over the years. It's about elevation. It's about peak performance, right? Like we can get so far. I mean, one of my clients that I'm doing some work with, she's a mentor to me in a lot of ways, right? Like kind of helps me get out of my own head and stuff like that, And I think there's a lot that to be said for that because we all have these blind spots. And even like I say, like the things I'm really good at, like sometimes that's got to be pointed out to me or had to have been pointed out. Like the first episode I did this show called Island Changemakers was with Tigerman, which is a special education school. And it is this year their 40th anniversary. So to be honest with you, I don't think my wife has actually watched a lot of the work I've done like around this stuff. So I'd done this now I've done like 20 episodes of that show in the studio at North Shore TV, public access, right? And my wife watched that video and she's like, wow, like legitimately, like you're really good at this thing. And sometimes it takes other people, your coach or people around you, to go like, yo, this is like where you're at. Like, this is your zone. I like to say your zone of brilliance or flow, whatever that is. Honestly, what we're doing right now is all I ever want to do. This, whether being on either seat, you know, because
I've heard the same thing. Even when I'm behind the camera and like you're on the camera and I'm just interviewing for a solo episode, like I end up cutting out all everybody's like, you make everybody feel so comfortable and chill.
That's
like,
what I hear all the time.
I mean, I could talk all day.
Anytime people get anxious about coming on one of my shows, I'm like, look, and especially if it's Philanthropy Focus, right? I go, look, it's ain't about you. It's not about me. It's about the mission of your organization, right? So I know you might be anxious, but it's not and I don't, unless they say they are, I don't bring that up, right? But I'm like, this isn't about you. So I just let's get out of our own way and let's have a good conversation. And my show is no different than if you and I were having a Heineken Zero somewhere together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Heineken Zero?
That's me. I drink Heineken Zeros. I'm sober, it'll be 15 years in September.
Oh, that's good. I'm trying to be. Last year I was sober from January all the way to May.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I've been giving my grace again.
I've been giving myself grace. Is that a word for you right now?
That is a word for me right now because I realize that I take on a lot. Yeah. And I do a lot. I mean, not only do we have NOM Studios.
You don't give yourself flowers, so to speak? Like you don't ever give yourself the love?
No, I don't. I haven't been. I know I do NOM Studios and NOM Media. Yeah. But now I'm also the director of marketing and development for Long Island Select Healthcare.
I know Lish. I know Lish for a long time. Yeah. So David Nimiroff used to be a CEO over there. Now he's the CEO of ZocDoc.
He's the CEO of ZocDoc. We're bringing on ZocDoc.
Are you really?
You need to connect Zoc because we're bringing him on. Maybe we can get a better deal. I don't know, but we need to,
what are you bringing him on? Like from a sponsorship perspective or something?
No, we're going to use them to do online.
For Lish?
For Lish, yeah.
So David was the former CEO. Now he's over at. All right, we'll make that happen offline. But what do you want to tell me about Lish?
I need to introduce you to Aaron, our new CEO.
He's the new CEO.
Yeah, he came
out of Cincinnati or something like that?
He is originally out of Ohio, but he's coming up from Georgia.
Got it.
And he has a good track record. He's an awesome dude. He has a good track record of bringing community healthcare centers from like whether startup or quadrupling their revenue. So he's awesome. The past month and a half I've been there, like I'm excited to see where it goes. It's like, he trusts me, he trusts his team. I'm realizing I'm putting two guys together. So David Nimiroff was the CEO of or is the CEO of Harmony Healthcare. Okay, yeah.
Right, which is another federally qualified health center.
Lish is just in Suffolk, Harmony is Nassau.
So the gentleman whose name escapes me right now, which is terrible, I should just text somebody, was the CEO of Lish and is now over at ZocDoc. Okay. But I got a connection with him either way. I'm gonna text. I saw you looking at your phone. I'm gonna text.
Well, I had questions just to keep
I'm trying to get an answer for you. That's why I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're planning on putting our first, because it's a new executive team, we're planning on putting our first event together the first week of August, Health Center Week.
Yep. So let me know how I can help, man. And if you want to feature, when are you doing the first week of what?
August. I think it's that Thursday or Friday that first week, the week of the 4th, Thursday or Friday.
If you want to put something on my show, no, Powell, Dr. Powell was James Powell, and I said ZocDoc. Dude, you had no coffee for me here at the show. You know what I'm saying?
I got you water. I should get you coffee.
That's all good. I dropped my 4 kids off before I came here. No, Doc Go, which is like these. It used to be a company called Ambulance. James Powell is with Doc Go. Probably still should introduce you. Yeah. But as far as I think goes in August with Lish, however I can help out and get the word out, because it's those FQHCs that do great work in the community. And I just watched something on the way over here, man. And, what's going on right now with immigration and things like this, man.
Yeah, federal grants, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's messed up. But it's also, those federally qualified health centers serve communities in need, right? We know that. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to see something where this mom who has 5 children here on Long Island, she just got deported. This what's going on in this country is very challenging right now. Yeah. And certainly in communities of more need than others.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do at Long Island Select Healthcare. It's like we're trying to show because we have a very, very big Hispanic community, a very big mental health like a lot of group homes, and we have a very big Caribbean community, and we're trying to show people that this is a safe place. You could come, you could get your health checkups, whether it's general health, gynecology, dentistry. We have a sliding scale. We don't turn anybody away, no matter if you have insurance or not, Medicaid, Medicare. And it's crazy that, Long Island Select Healthcare has been around almost like 9-10 years. And doing such great work and able to survive, but without like any marketing. So that's why I went on board, because we do a lot here for Nam Media and Nam Studios, like amplifying people's messages if you're in a business, but being able to actually be part of the executive team there and like have a foothold and a very specific hand in where it's going to go in the next couple of years, especially with that underserved community, does mean a lot to me.
What's your role? You marketing?
I'm director of marketing and development.
Is this like a full-time gig?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the hustle, man. I see you. I see what you're doing. I love that though. And so any way I can help tell that story and get them on, we'll get them on Philanthropy Focus whenever you want. The other thing is like, it's that sort of stuff where like that's community building too, right? Like I spoke to a woman recently who has like health fairs and stuff like that. So there's all these different things. Like when my friend Amy Fleischer was the director of development at Lish before she went over
to Harmony,
right? Yeah. So like that's where I'm putting all these things together. So Lish comes out of like DDI and Free
and UCP,
right? Putting together this organization, and then again they serve underserved, but they also serve a lot of the IDD population, right? Yeah, it's a great organization. I was at one of their galas a couple of years back. I think like you being on the front lines with all this media stuff, do you see organizations that are just not doing anything where they're just like not like social is, you gotta do it, especially nonprofit, man. There's so many things to tell stories about, like that's gonna be fun to watch.
And it's funny because me and you are in that space, and I feel like me and you understand that wholeheartedly, but I would say only 5-10% of organizations out there realize that marketing is now storytelling. A lot of organizations are still doing like static graphics, or like even if you're not a nonprofit or are a nonprofit, it's like a static graphic. We provide this, and this. Come in. Like people don't want to see that. People want to see the story.
I want stories, man.
People want to be educated in what you do, what you provide. Want to see that you're a leader in your field, and then they'll get that trust in you and come in on their own. Gone are the static graphics, the Canva stuff. You can still do that stuff, of course, but it's, and people think it's really like you have to have a full set. Like I have a studio, so
this is great.
Yeah,
but you don't need
setup,
this.
but you don't. You just need a camera
on the floor. On the floor there, I got my microphones, right? My 2 labs, right? No big deal, easy stuff. And I had to talk about it, like you're saying, like you and I know this stuff. Yeah, maybe I know some of it, but still I need to be pushed out of my comfort zone. My friend and colleague, Melissa, was like, Tommy D, you get the mics, you do the thing, right? And like just a couple of weeks ago, I ran like a networking session. It's like 20 people there. It's one of the things I do. I got a little bit, not that it was uncomfortable for me, but it was like a little bit too showy, I thought, right? So what did I do? I come in with a thing with my tripod, I put my phone there, I got my lav on, I do it, and I just did it. And because in your head, and in my head, it's like, oh, why these guys think, now I'm thinking he's like a big time guy.
No one's thinking that.
And they're not, but and I try to tell my kids this, most people are too busy with their own stuff. They don't even care about what you do. So I did it. And now I have that, right? And then last week I was at, the Mental Health Association, Nassau County, which is not too far from here, run by my friend Jeff McQueen, and Prashant Gupta runs like, business development and marketing, right? They're doing a mural, which I want you to know more about. So they're doing a mural. It's going to be 200 feet down this wall. And for a sponsorship, I think I sponsored $300. They're putting a word, whatever word you came up with, like that relates to mental health. And this is a big thing. I'm all about ending the stigma around mental health, right? So I chose ending the stigma together, which is my thing. Hashtag ending the stigma together. So just to go back to like content, right? I said to this gentleman they said, Tommy, would you come up and say a couple words? So of course I do. And I get the microphone and I had put my lav on the podium they had out there. So I'm getting set up and I just did 3 minutes, right? And it was just 3 minutes about, I have this quote that I like to use. It says, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind, always. And I said that and I started with that. It was just like about hashtag ending the stigma together. It was about Mental Health Association, Nassau County. I mentioned that, because it was relevant in that environment. I said, I'm approaching 15 years sober and all this kind of stuff I brought up. But I had the mic and I had the right equipment and I had somebody filming me and that happened, right? And it could have been undocumented, but it happened and now it's on Facebook and people are digging it on Facebook, right? I haven't even put it on LinkedIn yet because it just happened Saturday, but people are like, there's an opportunity. That's simple. There's nothing complicated. And it wasn't even, I didn't even have a tripod. I asked some dude, I was like, dude, would you just video record me while I go up there?
And you have to be your own biggest fan. Like no one is going to be a fan of yours until you're your own biggest fan. That's what I tell all.
Tell me about that. How do you tell people about that? What do you mean?
Because no one's just gonna come up to you and be like, hey, Tommy D, let me film you. You're awesome. Right. How are they gonna figure out that you're awesome? By you showing you're awesome. You have to be your own biggest fan. You have to be the first like on your post. You have to be able to, take that video like you just did this Saturday and post it online and say like, I'm proud of what I do. Like, I think we have a tendency to be embarrassed of these things.
That's what it is.
And even I go through that, but sometimes you just, and nitpick and everything.
See, that I don't care as much. More like I don't care, like nitpicking and stuff like that. I'm not going to give myself a hard time. I'm actually a big fan, like as far as that goes. What more gets me sometimes is like, oh, here he goes with his tripod and all this kind, like this. But again, no one said it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all head trash, right? I'm saying,
no one is gonna come up to you and be like, "Why you have a tripod on?" If they don't like it, they're not gonna say anything to you.
I know.
But who's gonna say things to you? The people who do like it.
I'm telling you, people are digging just that little piece, and because. Look, I didn't plan what I was going to say on that particular opportunity, but I'm very passionate about talking about this subject matter. So I knew when I went up there, I would just bring something across. And I've watched the video now 30 times or something like that. And I'm like, because it's real. And the messaging about ending the stigma is that I tell people, I'm in therapy, I'm doing the work. I said, we're all fighting a battle. And as I watched it a couple of times, it's pretty raw because like to say like, I said stuff like, look, I'm battling, I'm fighting through some stuff. That's a little vulnerable, even for me. Like I tell everybody my stuff, but that was a little bit because I watched it and I was like, there's people in my life that are going to be like, some people that maybe don't talk that way, aren't that open, might see it as, well, that's, wow, I didn't know he was dealing with that. Which is like, in my mind, I'm going, well, maybe that's a negative. Nah, that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do, though. The whole point is ending the stigma of it, right?
Me and you are such on the same path because I just started a series on my personal Instagram, and I'm also posting it to LinkedIn. I should post it to Facebook. And I got the idea from someone else I followed. 37 things I've learned in my 37 years of life.
Okay.
Because I'm either turning 37 or 38 this year. I don't even remember.
You might have to add another thing.
Yeah, I know. But 37
you might have to learn how old you are.
I know.
Be one of the things you can learn.
37 thing I've learned, and I've posted about 2 so far. People are loving it.
And what is it? Quick?
It's just quick 2-3 minutes of like, what are the things that I live by? What are the things I've learned? Like, that kind of stuff. But, we have to get out of here. So last question. Nonprofit sector connector. What does the next 5 years look like to you?
Dude, it's a great question, and I don't know would be the quick answer, but if I could project, it would be this thing with MCing events and really becoming, see, even what we just talked about, like leaning into who we are and stuff like that. I've been talking about consulting with nonprofit organizations, and when I say consulting, I already do this. There's no proof of concept that needs to happen. What is going to happen is where I will turn it into a business and a consultancy. So I will come in. I'm creating an online platform right now for a community, really for nonprofits. I'll come in and help them. I say this, look, I think you need to take inventory of your network, right? See what it looks like. And specifically, as I'm talking to nonprofits, right? Who's your donor base? Who are the people you want to connect with? I used to think, I would say, well, I'm not really somebody who consults in development, because I was thinking about just fundraising, right? And because I think development people who are friends of mine are like, no, Tommy D, that's exactly what it is. It's that relationships, those connections. That's what we need. So as it relates to the nonprofit sector connector in Focus Productions, it's really an opportunity for me to educate the sector, partner up with the sector, play connector like I've been doing for the last 15 or 20 years, like, because that's what I've always done. That's where that name and all that comes from. I was always a connector, and I like the way it sounds, nonprofit sector connector. So what's in the future is more MCing work. There is something coming up that I want to tell you real quick. September 26th, and this goes into the content piece too. September 26th at Captain Bill's, I'm being honored by Options for Community Living, which is an organization that works with people living with HIV and AIDS, experiencing homelessness and mental health issues. So we're putting together an entire campaign where each week we're going to drop a video of me out there meeting with different folks from that organization leading up to September 26th. But on September 26th, it's a murder mystery event.
Oh, that's fun.
All right. Captain Bill's, 250 people are going to be in the room, murder mystery.
That's fun.
And it's called the Mafia Murder Mystery event. So
I'll definitely be there.
I want you there for sure. I hope I don't get whacked is really what I've been telling everybody. I hope that doesn't happen. But look, that to me is just fun. But I'm like, very easily I could have just told people about it, sold tickets for the event. But I said, no, let's build a campaign. Let's make all this up, because it goes back to the content and it's going to be storytelling. So it's a lot of fun. Listen, this has been great, man. I want to come back. We do it again. I'll come back tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Tommy. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man.